What's going on, everyone? Real Red Politics here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Before I get into today's video, if you guys could be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, that would mean a lot. It also help me reach my goal of 300 subscribers. That is the goal for the end of this month, and if we don't reach it this month, we're going to have that as the goal for next month. And make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys do know when a new video is uploaded. I try and upload at least one time a week, and I'm trying to upload at least 2 or 3 times a week, which hopefully I'll be getting that in the habit of doing here pretty soon. So today we're going to be continuing the What Are My Thoughts series. This is a series for those of you who don't know, and if you are new to the channel or just haven't stumbled upon this series, this is a series where I take into consideration different maybe historical topics or political topics. I kind of give a brief overview of them, and then I give my overall thoughts and opinions on them. So like, for example, the current series that I am doing is about the United States presidents, and I'm going in order, researching all the presidents, and then I talk about them, and then at the very end of the series, I'm going to rank all the presidents in a tier list of how I think they did as president. And so we're going to continue with the 8th episode. I believe this is the 8th episode. And the 8th president of the United States was Martin Van Buren, who was Andrew Jackson's successor. So a few things with Van Buren is he didn't, in terms of his presidency, he didn't do a whole lot. He only served one term, and it's mainly because after he was elected, his approval rating dropped significantly because the country fell in economic shambles, and part of the reason is because he opposed the big, something like the big government bank, not like a government bank, but the first United States bank or something along those lines. There was a big bank he didn't support, and he wanted an independent treasury to take care of government funds, and he wanted to move funds from the big bank to the state banks, that kind of stuff. And after he transferred a bunch of funds, it was one of the reasons the country kind of fell in economic shambles. And this was shortly after he was actually elected to office too. But something to note about him is though he was one of the founders of the Democrat Party, he opposed a strong central government, whereas a lot of, if not most, if not all of the Democrats now support, a strong central government. And before I continue, if you guys are curious about where I get this information, if you guys want to read more about the presidents or whatever, I do leave links in the description below. Be sure to check them out. If there's something I didn't cover or something that I missed, leave a comment and I will read it. I read all my comments. And so go ahead and leave a comment if there's something interesting about a president that I missed or whatever the case may be. I try and keep these videos pretty short. I try and keep them under 15 minutes if possible. Kind of just depends on how much there is to talk about. And the images that you see that I'm using, the links are down below as well. And so if you guys, for some reason, want to find the picture of a president, I leave the links in the description below. So all the information's there, available for you guys. I've done the research, and I put the information in the description, or I put the links to the information in the description. So that way, like I said, if you guys do want to read up more on these presidents and other topics that I covered, you guys are more than welcome to. And so I kind of link them all for you guys. So to continue, he was a big supporter of states' rights. He supported more power to the states than the federal government, kind of like Thomas Jefferson. He was from the, I guess, what's kind of known as the Jeffersonian Republican Party, so to speak, which is, I know it kind of sounds backwards considering he founded the Democrat Party, but the Democrat Party back then isn't the same party that we know now. And because, the Democrat Party now has moved so far to the left, Van Buren, he supported states' rights. Like I said, he was against a strong central government. And, like I said, he did found the Democrat Party along with Andrew Jackson. And another thing that kind of led to his political failure as president was he didn't support the annexation of Texas, which is interesting because the reason he gave was because he was worried it was going to become a slave state or something along those lines, even though from what I understand he supported slavery. So it was kind of ironic, so to speak. But he didn't support the annexation of Texas, which the Congress wasn't happy about and general public support wasn't happy about. So he also was worried that it would start a war with Mexico, and that there would be that, a conflict, which the future president did support getting Texas. There was actually the Mexican-American War. So yeah, that did occur, largely, if not because of Texas. So other than the economic struggles, I mean, like I said, that happened like in 1837 or 1838, shortly after he was elected. He failed to get the Democrat nomination in 1844. He attempted to run and get the nomination again, but ultimately failed. And another unpopular conflict that was occurring during his presidency was the war with the Seminole Indians in the state of Florida. It was what people had considered to be a very long war, very costly war, not only in terms of manpower, but in terms of financials as well. Like, keep in mind, this is a point in time when the United States was in economic, struggles. There was big economic problems that were kind of taking over the country. And so Van Buren was overseeing all of this, and what did he do about the war? He didn't really do anything. He kind of just let it happen, so to speak, and I don't know if he ended the war, so to speak. I didn't look that far into his presidency. But that was just, another thing that people were very unhappy about. He also continued Jackson's Indian Removal Act. People say, Jackson was really bad to the Indians. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to deny that isn't true, but one could argue Van Buren was a lot meaner to the Indians, actually. And so, in terms of, that whole thing, it's like, both presidents, yes, they supported the Indian Removal Act. Yes, they were both bad, but I could make the argument that Van Buren was probably worse. But, this also kind of goes back to Andrew Jackson, that Andrew Jackson actually did some good things during his presidency. There were good things that happened. He's very underrated, in my opinion. People just specifically look at the Trail of Tears, and they don't look at the actual accomplishments that he had and the actual success he had with the United States. Whereas Van Buren didn't have the same success. And his failure as president, so to speak, ultimately led to William Henry Harrison being elected after him, which we'll be talking about in the next episode. But, so back to Van Buren. I know this isn't a president a lot of people are very familiar with. People tend to look more at his predecessor than Andrew Jackson. They do Martin Van Buren. People just kind of look at Martin Van Buren and go, oh, I don't know who he is. I know he was president, but that's about all I know. And so another thing with this series is a lot of these presidents that people may have never really even heard of, or if they have heard of them, they don't know what they did, they don't know what their political party was, whatever the case may be. That's one of the reasons I bring up these topics, so I could talk about them. And so that way, that's not educational, it's more for your, for your entertainment and stuff. But, I myself do learn things about presidents that I didn't know beforehand. Like when I was in grade school, I researched Thomas Jefferson, and there's stuff now that I didn't know about Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, George Washington, all those people. I knew a lot about these guys, a lot about these presidents, except James Madison and James Monroe. I didn't know much about them. But researching the presidents for the series has led me to learn more things about these presidents, and things I find very interesting. I'm very fond of American history, very fond of war history. It's one of my favorite things to do is watch documentaries about like World War II or the Vietnam War or whatever, and kind of learn and gain some more knowledge, so to speak, when it comes to these different topics. And if there's a topic that you guys want covered, feel free to leave a comment, and like a historical topic, so to speak, and I'll I will research the topic and I will, make a video on it. I know the editing is kind of, like boring, so to speak. And I'm hoping I can eventually get to the point where I learn some more editing skills and, ways I can put content together in terms of, different, things to make it look more appealing. I know this is probably a little boring, but, if anyone has any ideas, let me know in the comment section. And, we'll continue with the What Are My Thoughts series, which is a series I do really enjoy, and I know it's fairly popular on my channel. I know the most popular content tends to be the prediction videos, but I don't want to do a prediction video like every single video, because then not only would I get burned out, but like eventually they decline in popularity over time. Also, I noticed that the majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so if you're watching this video right now and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I don't like to be one of those YouTubers that asks for people to subscribe, but, I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagreed with in terms of maybe his political beliefs, whatnot. If there's anything I missed or anything that I misstated or whatever, let me know in the comment section below. And if, I might pin the comment or whatever. Like I said, I do read all my comments. So be sure to make sure you guys do hit the notification bell so you guys do know when a new video, like new What Are My Thoughts video is uploaded, so you guys can enjoy the video right away. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more political content coming your guys' way.